Have you ever wondered what top advisors do each week to set themselves up for success? That's exactly what I'm going to lay out for you in this video so that you'll be able to copy the recipe and then start seeing greater results in your week. Because there's this theme or the pattern that I've noticed over the last decade and a half of being an advisor where some of the best FAs I've met, they're very diligent on how they structure their week. And then I'm also going to share how I do my own week review that really only takes 7 minutes, and then it sets me up for having the most productive week that I can have. And then something I do every day, which is just an end of day wrap up that allows me to transition from work mode and focus mode to then family mode so that I know I can be fully present and not be thinking about work and be with my wife and my kids and just be enjoying the moment. So as you're well aware, we have to wear a lot of different hats as a financial advisor, right? There's all these different parts of the business like operations or plan creation and plan delivery or marketing and sales, research, education, sometimes counseling in some cases with our clients. The only way to make sure that we're spending the right time on the right things is to structure our week the right way. When I wasn't doing this, I was finding myself getting overwhelmed more easily and more frequently because I was constantly reacting to tasks and I was struggling to make these meaningful progresses that I wanted to make in the business. And I was having a harder time just enjoying a work-life balance that was reasonable. So today we'll dive deep into how to structure your week like a top advisor. And we're going to be looking at Dan Sullivan's strategic coach model, which really just consists of focus days, buffer days, and free days. And then I'll break down each element and then explain why it's essential for our success if we want to structure our week the right way. And if I haven't met you yet, I'm Dave and I run an advisory firm, Streamline, and we share things that are working at our firm to grow. We share it on this channel so that hopefully you can use it as well. And we also have a weekly email that sends out one 5-minute tip you can apply each week to make your practice and then just you as yourself a better advisor. So let's get to the week of successful advisors. And the theme again is focus days, buffer days, free days. So step one, what advisors do is they take Mondays and Fridays and they schedule those, as buffer days or admin days. These days allow us to just tackle the essential tasks and then plan for success as well. Because if you're running your own business, you're wearing many hats, they set these days for administrative tasks and for compliance tasks or maybe client meeting prep or even business planning, working on the business, and then also professional development. If you don't set these buffer days, things are going to stack up and then they're going to end up getting neglected, which is going to lead to bigger messes in the future. So setting those 2 buffer days on the Mondays and Fridays is important. Because when you have structured, a structured start and then a finish to your week like this, you'll find it's easier to maintain focus during the week, which leads us to focus days. That's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we'll put these ones as pink, as focus days. And these are the days where you're really on, think of it as being on stage, where there's a lot of communication happening, where you're at your best in front of your clients or your prospects. This is kind of like where we're on stage and it's where we're meeting and having calls and communicating, or maybe even, I could say it's even writing content as well, because you're thinking from the prospective clients or your client's mind. And when you have focused days, that's all about engagement. It's going to strengthen client relationships and it's going to help you just make sure you're providing that great service and higher perceived value that leads to increased trust and then hopefully increased referrals. And then the last type of day is a free day. And that's usually the weekends where work is not the main focus. And if we can do this right, free days are really the days that will allow us to become more productive and allow us to just be better with our time overall during the weekdays. Next, I want to give you something really important that I've been doing for some time, and it is the wrap up to the day that allows me to transition from work mode to then family mode. So I'm not thinking about work when I'm playing with my kids. And then also the 7-minute week review, just once a week, that really makes sure you're going to be most productive for the upcoming week. So at a scheduled time of day, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, or whenever the last meeting was I go to one page on my notes app and then I write down 3 wins for the day. And it's just 3 things that I made progress on that made today better than the previous day. Now, there's also some days where I get to the end of the day and I feel like I've got so much more to do and I just didn't do everything I wanted to, right? You probably feel that a lot too. So I write down what I wish I could have done. You know, I wish I could have completed the prep for the meeting coming up in a few days. I wish I got back to all my emails. I've got some left hanging out there. Or I wish I could have wrote another piece of content. So I write down the progress I made, the things I wish I did, and then I write down 3 things that I can do tomorrow that's gonna make tomorrow better than today. And sometimes it's those things that I missed that day. And then I put them into this framework. This is each day, the most important thing is focus on the one thing and ask this question after I write it down. Am I absolutely sure? If I do this one thing, is it going to make everything else easier? Think about that whenever whatever next task you're focusing on. And then the top 3 for the day that you want to accomplish, and then everything else, the long to-do list, can go down there. That's been an easy framework just to focus on the most essential things. And then the weekly wrap up, this has been good. Take a snapshot of this and try to use it, maybe try it out for a couple weeks. But looking at the past week, what are the things that had the biggest positive impact towards my main goals? And what are the things that did not have an impact? What should I stop doing? And then looking forward to the upcoming week, what are the commitments that I've already got scheduled that aren't gonna move me towards my goals, right? I might wanna delete those because they're not gonna help. Now, again, this might depend on your situation, but at least think about it. Ask yourself the question and then make sure you block off time and schedule time for the big projects, the deep work. And usually I write down the top 3 wins of the week for my family and for work. So hopefully this was helpful. If it was, please like the video and then check out these videos here. And if you're an advisor, don't forget to subscribe and then don't miss the next video I'm gonna put out next week. Also look for the email list for that 5-minute weekly tip. So hopefully it was helpful and then I'll see you in the next video.